Hello and welcome back to another episode on True Crime Tarot. I've got the amazing investigation deck on the table, and we are going to be reading about Kim Porter. It really, well, it probably could be a Diddy file as well, but she has passed. And this is, I'm sorry, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at, how old was she? I don't know, 47 or 46 or something like that, that it was pneumonia. But I want the cards to tell me what the story is. I do believe that there's some sort of book out there, alleged book that she has written. I would like to know if that is true, if these cards can, shine some light on the surroundings of what happened, because she was too way too young, way too young to have pneumonia, really, pneumonia. wow. So for the people who aren't too sure who she is, she was Diddy's, or she's the mother of four of his children. He is not the biological father of Quincy. Quincy is the biological son of LB, and LB actually had suspicious circumstances around his health as well. And anyway, so long story short, of course, they had adopted, or he adopted. And I actually have heard some things, and I found a link. I don't know why, it just came across, and this is what gave me the idea for this reading. Very, very disturbing if what is in that journal or 54 pages of her book, allegedly by Jamal, which is a ghost. It's a ghostwriter name. The person is a white American or something. I don't know. I know that when it was first released, he made a lot of money, a lot of money, and then Amazon kicked it off and said, well, it's fake. This is where I'm going with this. There's also certain people that were around the death scene as well, that one of them is a name is on my list. The mummy manager's BFF, what can I say, or BF. There's certain people that you really do have to smudge yourself for before you can even mention their names. He's one of them. Very, very dark energy, extremely dark energy. He happened to be around the scene of Kim. So, let's just find out. Horrible circumstances, if you believe what is in that 54-page book too, and why Christian was called Christian, who is king and who is now also allegedly in trouble. Okay, repeat offender, DNA evidence, oh, good Lord, mental struggle or illness, I had to get away, and everything's unclear. No, the moon, lies, deception, betrayal, the first major arcana that's come through. DNA evidence, okay. Well, that's interesting. Because I do believe that when she did pass, that the first coroner all of a sudden miraculously resigned or left or something. He did some tests and he thought was suspicious. Well, you would do, wouldn't you, at that age, right? I mean, there's certain ages that you've got to do an autopsy anyway. You can't just say, well, they died of old age. That's not accepted. And then another coroner came in and signed off, natural causes technically, really, pneumonia. I mean, when I was 50, I had pneumonia. Yeah, you get really, really sick. And especially if you smoke or something like that, because of your lungs, yes. But, you know, to pass and be, sorry about the noise, to pass and so you'd really think that they'd go down a dirt track, wouldn't you? All right, sorry about that. Yeah, at that age group, you know, just to pass, it. I don't know if they can, you know, go into it. Maybe they might be looking into it to, you know, exhume. Well, she's actually sitting up on a plaque next to her mother anyway, so it's not like they've got to unbury her kind of thing, dig her up, so to speak. She did have a mental struggle and there was an illness. I do believe that when you've got a long disordered relationship with someone and you share yourself as well as everything else with this person, yeah, that's got to be playing up. It's got to be playing up. It doesn't matter. People can say, oh, they're fine, but that's got to be playing up in their minds. You know, there's four. Well, there's three of his biological set of twins, and while she was having the set of twins, of course, he was also got someone else knocked up, and there's another kid there. Yeah, just that's got to do your head in, literally, and a repeat offender. Well, what can we say about repeat offender? Sadly, she kept coming back, didn't she? She kept coming back. However, we're talking about the circumstances of her passing, and again, repeat offender. And it was just, there's so many others that have passed on pneumonia around, you know, Hollywood. I mean, I might even look into Brittany Murphy. There's another one. Didn't she die of pneumonia? I'll have to check that one. But for now, we're talking about, sadly, Kim had to get away from the domestic violence and abuse. I do believe that she was in a yacht off somewhere, Caribbean or somewhere like that, and PD called in his own doctors, you know, to fix her up, broke her jaw, allegedly, entertainment purposes only. I believe that. I do believe that, more so after seeing what he did and what Cassie had also lodged. I do believe that. And she had to get away. You can't lead that kind of life. You just can't. She was definitely taken out of the picture. Absolutely. Absolutely taken out of the picture. And you've got another major arcana here. Emperor, father figure in charge. Emperor is a ruler, likes to take control. I think, you know, when we were talking about the DNA here, there's DNA evidence. I really do think that there was something in her DNA that was all squashed, and a person took control, like I said, changed the coroner, literally. And I know it's going to sound ludicrous. It did to me too. But there is a lot of corruption. What's being exposed with these cities files is corruption through and through, from every source, not only, you know, the police force, but the medical, you know, not just hospitals, but doctors, and it's never ending, the corruption. No wonder why he did it for so long and got away for so long. It was the worst kept secret in Hollywood, and everyone just accepted that was the way it was. And, you know, people who don't understand will say, well, why didn't they leave? They can't. And look what happens when they do. They die at 45, 47, whatever years of age of pneumonia, of something that is fixable, repairable. That's what happens when they do get away. And then people could say, oh, but, you know, he was moved on abusing someone else. Yes, he was. He definitely did, because we saw that on video, so we don't have to say allegedly. Yes, that is correct. But that doesn't mean that he's let go. That doesn't mean that the ruler, the big daddy, P Diddy, that doesn't mean he's let go. Wrong direction, dark intentions or motive, mask not true face, exposed secret. She was going to write that book. That book was out there. I don't know if it was a book. I think it was notes, possibly a diary or a journal. There is something out there, allegedly entertainment purposes only, according to this card here. The mask not true face, I think, is the kind of face that she's had to put on. Sometimes a bit like, when they'll do anything for fame and fortune, right? And I think that's what's happened when they do take the mask off. Well, as you can see here, a little bit of the mask still sticks. I don't think she was extremely involved in a lot of things. I don't think she had a lot say in the matter, but she was complicit. And there was dark intentions being taken out of the picture. There was dark intentions and a motive, and the motive would be the secrets that would be exposed, which would be diary, journals, or whatever. And this ghostwriter Jamal, whatever, Todd, I think his surname is, or something, whatever he's put out, I don't know to what extent it's been glossed over, it's been rehashed or changed. I have no idea. And of course the family is denying it. Well, they don't have the mother or the father now. Sure, the boys are old enough to look after themselves, and they're old enough to look after their sister as well, or sisters, and the other baby mamas are still alive. So I'm sure they'll survive. Short of King, who is Christian, the first one with Robin. With Kim. Why did I say Robin? Who is Robin? Interesting. She took a wrong direction in the life. She probably should have not had gone with him. But I have a feeling she wasn't really going anywhere with LB. And I think in what I did here, and it seems like someone had bought the 54 pages and was reading it out. Someone was definitely reading something, and it did actually show that allegedly PD was involved in making LB very, very sick. So she didn't really have a choice. Like I said, a lot of corruption. Digital footprint, the Hermit, we've got Tarot coming through, Hangman, another big tarot card, kept in the dark. Hangman, she was sacrifice. She was sacrifice. There is a connection, and another major arcana. Okay, the tarot's come through here. Really, really heavy, really, really, really large. There are hidden clues. There will be a breakthrough. I think you find the more that we look into this case, and more people are looking into it, he can't squash it. The kids would like to squash it because, bearing in mind it is their mother, right, the four of them anyway, would like to squash it, but I don't think they will have the power to do so. He can't squash it because there's too much out there now, especially with a lot more other evidence that does point in this direction. There's a good chance that they may see if they can get some sort of other tests from her, like open up her coffin or whatever. They may be looking into something. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for Cassie lodging the DV, right, which is also the card that's up here, he would still be walking the streets and doing what he was doing for the last 20, 30 years, right? Which is wrong on many, many levels, and intimidation and everything. Very, very dark, allegedly entertainment purposes only. Very, very sad to see that she was yet another sacrifice. The cards have definitely proven this now through tarot. Tarot's coming in going, yep, it's exactly what you're thinking and what everyone's thinking. You don't usually go of pneumonia at that age group without some other underlining thing. And yes, they're talking about lobotomy or whatever. I get that. But, it wasn't like she had, stage 4 cancer or anything like that. She didn't have that. And that's generally how you go at that age group, It's, she was kept in the dark. She was definitely kept in the dark. I don't know why, but I think she's well and truly aware of what was going on in those tunnels too, because the hermit here is basically in a cave kind of thing. Tunnels, cave. Yeah, not good. And there is a digital footprint as well, which is also verifying that the hidden exposed secrets are definitely on some sort of flash drive, up in the cloud somewhere. There's copies. There's not, there's copies. There's copies out there. It will be able to be traced. It's just a matter of whether they want to trace it, if they want to pursue it. But it will be a breakthrough, especially with the star. Another tarot card, it will be a breakthrough if they do decide to pursue this case. Even right from the DNA, right from the get-go, where the coroner's changed, with the intimidation, the corruption and everything like that, allegedly entertainment purposes only, and then another coroner comes in and then bang, that was it. Oh, it's natural causes or whatever, Yeah, I'm sorry. The cards are telling what most of us were thinking anyway. And there's definitely a connection to the Diddy files. So, of course, there's a connection. I'll do it one more time, but I'm pretty sure, Tarot's come in very, very, very promptly, very aggressively even, to confirm exactly what we suspected, to make it look like an accident. Organised meeting, a stalker being watched. There you go. That's where I was going with the mummy manager's BF, right? Being watched. She was being watched. I do believe that everything was, like you can track your phones and you've got CCTV in I think there was everything in there. It has been mentioned, and then it goes missing, then it gets mentioned again, and then it goes missing. So there are still people out there trying to cover up certain things. But again, you've got purposely disappeared. It was an aggressive attack, an accident, and an organised meeting, and she was being stalked. Well, when it comes to the accident, I don't know where they're going with that. I think that I don't think it was an accident at all. Maybe that may have been a defence why certain people were at the scene. Oh, it was an accident, kind of thing. It was accidental. I've got nothing to do with it. I don't understand where this accident, I might as well turn around and say it was natural causes, which is what they did, what they did. Yeah, just really, 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 really scary, really scary. It's sadly, it's everything that we thought. Everything that we thought. The cards are verified. A major arcana is coming through right off the bat. She was a sacrifice, allegedly entertainment purposes only, and she had to purposely disappear. It's just 2 cards on the last 2 lines, without going into the reason why. Horrible, horrible, horrible situation. All right, as suspected. Anyway. Please like, share and subscribe, and I hope you can join me next week on another True Crime Tarot case. Bye.